everyone, welcome back to another Reiterate Breakdown. So today I am flowing on from what we talked about in the Breakdown 1, where we were talking about high quality product image, selection and use on your website. So today's breakdown is on a very popular brand. You might have seen him on the Joe Rogan podcast recently, Elon Musk's Tesla. Now, the actual particular section of the Tesla website I'm looking at the moment is the solar roof section. We do get a lot of inquiries, and I know that solar is a very competitive industry, so I thought this was a nice example that we could talk about today about how you might be able to achieve a similar kind of look and feel on your website. So the first thing that I did, which I was curious about, is to understand what CMS they were actually using, at least for this section of the site and likely the entire Tesla site. And an easy way of doing that, if you are ever curious, you can Google what CMS, and that will come up with this website here, whatcms.org. You can throw in the URL there, and we'll actually tell you what CMS they're using. So if you're in that stage of like trying to decide, do I use WordPress and WooCommerce or Shopify or Drupal or Magneto or many of the other Wix, Squarespace, many of the other options that are out there, this is a good way if you see your competitors or even just some sites that you like. This is a great way of finding out what they're using, and that might give you a little bit of a stepping stone to go, okay, well, we want something very similar to this. They seem to be using this platform. Maybe that's a good choice. And then you can chat to your agency or your developer about their opinion on that choice. A quick note here on CMSs. This is something that if you don't have a web development or a marketing background, people are like, I don't quite understand what are they. And this is essentially, it stands for the Central Management System. And really, this is kind of like what we're using to build the website out of. So, of course, you're building a website out of using code and HTML and PHP and many other coding languages. But this is kind of the service that brings it all together. And the features that each of these services offer are similar and unique in their own particular ways. And there are pros and cons, and often the pros and cons are dependent on what your particular service or business is. I can say at Reiterate, the ones that I most prefer working with and the ones that seem to be the most useful for the vast majority of our clients are WordPress and also using Shopify. And that's not to say that we don't use the others. We have other clients on Magneto. We have other clients using Drupal, in fact. But those are the two that generally are, they have the most broad spectrum of things that they offer that make them applicable to most clients' needs and wants. And normally we can do it more cost efficiently for them using those CMS platforms. So anyway, enough about CMSs. Let's get to the fun stuff. So here we're looking at the solar roof, and what are we seeing? Once again, beautiful imagery here. Now it looks like there is quite a lot of editing that is present in these images, and I'm curious as to whether these are actually rendered, artificial images, or whether these are actual images of the house. I actually can't quite tell. It does look a little bit artificial, and a little bit like Photoshop work, but I could be wrong, So either way, it looks fantastic. So I'm convinced maybe it is real. What I really like here is this bottom section where you can hover over the tiles and then it changes the images. So when you have a particular product that you want to show in situ, or in context that's relevant to the purchaser, this is a nice way of zooming in on the product and then showing the overall outcome. Now, I would probably like to have seen this section here maybe a little bit smaller, so that on my screen here, I'm using a 15-inch MacBook Pro at the moment, that this was no, I take it back. Look, I thought that these actually extended a little bit on my other screen. They went below the fold. Quick note here, anything that's below this bottom point of the screen where the user has to scroll, that's called below the fold. So generally, in marketing situations, we would want all of our keystone content to be above the fold. So that's as soon as it loads on my computer, boom, it's all there. So this here, actually fine. I mean, I still stick to what I said. I probably would have liked to have seen these tiles maybe come to about here, just to make them a little bit more obvious. But that may come down to personal preference. You can also see here some beautiful, simple nav, very easy to do. Now we can come through here. Once again, they're offering this tile selection and they're moving you straight into almost like into the purchase funnel. They're now asking you to select which ones you would want, how many Powerwall batteries, and then boom, straight here into the path to purchase, or at least the path to make a reservation. Really smooth, really intuitive. You can see what the product is, scroll down, learn the benefits, and then bang, straight into this reservation section. Then they've gone in and they're providing additional information. So similar to Apple, the less important information they're putting towards the bottom of the page. So it's kind of like, this is how fantastic it'll look on your home. These are the options that are available. This is why you should do it. And boom, this is how you can reserve it now. Still not convinced? Okay, let's give you some more information about exactly what it is. Then they go into this automatically playing video, which is quite nice. I like that as well. And then some more graphical elements here and some more information-based content here, of just features that you can get here. So the reason for these breakdowns is how can you achieve a result like this on your website? Well, you're going to need some high resolution imagery, done by a professional photographer like we talked about in the last breakdown. These hover sliders here, very cheap and easy for your developer to put in. You're probably only looking at, if you ask them, hey, I want a homepage banner that when I hover over this, it changes the image. They should be able to do that, in less than half an hour. If they're quoting you hundreds of bucks for that, I'd be questioning why. Into here, little path to purchase, a little bit of dev work in here, but nothing, nothing too crazy. And then a simple form fill here. Plus, of course, they have that credit card purchase functionality, and you can set up something similar using many of the different payment providers that you can use. You can use Stripe, you can use PayPal, and various others. Here, very simple, like we've seen in Apple. All you need to do is put that as part of your template, insert your copy and image there. This is quite nice as well. This could almost be. Let's have a look how long it plays for. Nearly, I can't work out whether that's a GIF or whether that's a video, but you can see very quick, very to the point, only a few seconds, and you can do that if you've got any snippet. You can either ask your designer to create a GIF if it's something very quick, and a GIF is going to have a lower load for the user, so that's not going to slow your site down as much. You're only talking a few hundred KBs there, instead of if you want a quick video, it might be a few megabytes. So that's something to consider as well when you're looking at implementing video on your site or anything that's very content image rich. Consider your load speed. Now, if you find that you do all these changes and your site looks fantastic, but now it's taking 10 minutes to load, then you need to look at some other options in terms of how you're going to increase that site speed. The ways that you can do that, one is go have a look at your hosting, and you can generally increase your hosting package to a more powerful performance package. That more powerful performance package is going to allow your site to process the information quicker, and depending if the user has fast enough internet, it is going to increase or decrease the load time. Quite simple, and there are some other optimization techniques that you can do to increase load time. It starts to get outside of increasing your server package. It starts to get a little bit more technically heavy, and I won't get into the details there, but it generally involves methods of compression, the ways in which your site draws information from the server, and various other hacks that any good developer will know how to do, but you are looking now at some hundreds of dollars to be able to put in place those speed optimization development changes. So I hope that is a good little breakdown of how you might be able to achieve a similar result to the Tesla solar roof here. We'll keep doing these breakdowns. If you've got some value out of it, please let me know. If there's any particular sites that you want me to have a look at or things that you're interested in, questions, please let me know in the comments. I want to keep doing these and keep offering just some insights off the top of my head that you guys may be able to apply into your own marketing, your own teams, or if you'd like to come chat with us at Reiterate, please give me a call and we can chat through how we can make your site look as damn nice as this Tesla solar roof site. All right, guys, all the best. Have a good day.